Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup here. I'm here with the guys, at least 3 out of 4 of them. Hey man, put down that trash, dude. We're talking about only pristine thing. Oh, no you're not. Keep that up, because, I got a factoid for them.
I don't want you to read your fact.
So, anyway.
Cancel that.
This is Chris the Trainer. We got Reg and Deuce in the building. We haven't been here in a couple of weeks. Say what's up to everyone, man. Tell them how much you missed them. All that stuff.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming through. Sorry we missed y'all. Life happens.
Yeah, man. Hey, Chris got the itis from all that Thanksgiving candy yams, man. He gonna stay away from the yams. Got the itis, so we're back in it. Hey, glad you guys found us again. I hope we can entertain you some more.
I mean, I did get pretty stuff on the pumpkin pie, which is a traditional American classic dessert. Probably one of the best ones. I don't know about the yams. I'm good. Sweet potatoes are good, but yams doing too much. That's why.
What do you have to say about all the sweet potato pie people out there in the world?
As a dessert?
Yeah, the people who think that sweet potato pie is better than pumpkin pie.
I mean,
SPC, man, sweet potato food.
I feel like people who prefer sweet potato pie over pumpkin pie, there's a couple of things that either happen. One, you had sweet potato pie first, so you didn't even know the classic. It's kind of like listening to, a remake of listen to Drake's version of Back That Thing Up, and then you like, oh, this is great, and then you don't hear the original, but you think that's great. Your baseline is off. So I mean, I understand that happens, and then the other people just don't really have a good mature palate. That's kind of what I brought it down to. So I mean, if you like sweet potato pie, I feel sorry for you. Pumpkin pie has been there. We're doing the pumpkin spice revolution, headed by Starbucks. So I mean, we're good, but come back to America. This is America. And
oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on, wait. I gotta take this. Ms. Langston. Yeah. Tell him what? Oh, hey. Your mom said don't ever bring your behind back home again. And don't ever come back to the South. I can't say that we're recording. Okay. She's going to have some choice words for you after this. All right. My bad.
Well, the only Miss Langston I know is my grandmother. So you just got spammed. So fake news. And it was the first time listening to it.
And I'm in the spirits.
I know, right? Rocking with us, man. This is a place we're talking about sports, current events, and everything else in between through the lens of black culture. We're here every Tuesday, except for the past couple of Tuesdays because of holidays and personal things. But we back, you know what I'm saying? Sorry we left you guys hanging. I know you guys been, yearning for, a new episode. So we here. Y'all want to say anything? Y'all want to say, how was y'all Thanksgiving? I mean, I know this guy, he was eating candy yams all day, so apparently that was what he was doing. Probably got like a big neck, kind of got overweight neck. Overbearing neck. Reg, how was yours?
It was dope, man. I didn't have candy yams that day, but I have had since the last time we had an episode about Thanksgiving. I had candy yams, and they're not so bad. I like them.
So
not my favorite side dish, but it is a solid side dish.
Not the favorite side dish. Still low on the totem pole. Deuce, how was your Thanksgiving?
Hey, it was good, man. We played Survivor for Thanksgiving. You know how they remember Survivor? They put out the torch to the weakest member.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey got scratched, man. Turkey was not part of my Thanksgiving dish, man. It was that Cornish hen. It was wonderful. Had amazing Thanksgiving company. But as far as you, Chris, I think I don't know what's up with your taste buds, bro. Like, your taste buds got hacked because sweet potato pie is a staple of like everything that's good. I don't want to go down into that. I don't want to go down that road, man. I don't like you disrespecting sweet potato pie. You got to try some. It's amazing.
There's literally pumpkin in the harvest horn. There's a pumpkin there, so it's okay. That's fine. I enjoy mine.
You worse than a blind man driving, man. I just don't understand how you don't like sweet potato pie, but okay.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
I don't really have a dog in the fight, but I will just put a note there. I believe Miss Patty only makes sweet potato pie. She doesn't make pumpkin pie. That's all I'm going to contribute to the conversation.
That's fine.
Say Miss Patty wrong. Say Miss Patty wrong. Please.
Miss Patty?
I'm just saying. At the end of the day, I don't want boxed pumpkin sweet potato pie. I would prefer to have fresh pumpkin pie, but it's okay. Again, you guys are good. You guys are used to the TV dinners, Lunchables, and all that stuff. That's good. I know your palate's different from mine. I'm more sophisticated. It's all good. Again, check us out on the social media. Grindhouse.
He's scratching his head, right? Because you know he just lied.
Grindhouse Network, Grindhouse NTWK. We on IG. We also on the Twitters, Discord. We got the link on the webpage of the YouTube channel. Check us out on all the Spotify and Apple Podcast platform, Google Podcast platform, Deezer, Anchor, all those places, man. Wherever you get your podcast from, man, we also there. And again, YouTube, this is where you at. Thank you for joining us. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. So, with that said, man, let's get right into it, man. The NBA, we're about third in, 20 games plus, so we can start to see who's at the top, the creme de la creme, as they say. I heard that it was the Brooklyn Nets and the Warriors, I think it's the Warriors. And then you have some people who are bottom feeders, and those are your team, like the Detroit Pistons, the Orlando Magic. So Houston Rockets, but they've been winning. They've been
7-game win streak, baby. Never before in the history of the NBA has a team lost the first 10-15 games, then go on to the 7-game win streak. Never before.
That's okay. The Grizzlies broke it, so it's all good. We're good at breaking streaks. But at the end of the day, man, we see a lot of turbulence. We see some stuff that don't look too well. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna get the TNT. Go ahead and chop them up to the struts, to the support beams, all the load bearing walls, and we're gonna just call out if these teams needs to be blown up or not. And we're gonna start with probably the more advertised team that needs to be blown up, or at least people are saying that they need to be broken up. Portland, the Trailblazers, they are currently 11-15. They are currently losing right now. CJ McCollum is just suffered, collapsed lung. It's indefinite where he's coming back. Dame, he's banged up. He's in and out. And I mean, if you look at the rest of the lineup, it just looks very, very mediocre at best. I don't know anyone on that team who should be a starting member of any starting five. But Reg, man, you telling me, man? Do you think Portland? What's going on in Portland? You think they should blow up, or they should stick it out?
I'm not sure how a collapsed lung injury works. Like, is that something that, has a timetable? You said indefinite, so I'm guessing it's not very clear. And once you do recover, is that something you need to be worried about? Reminds me of Chris Bosh with the blood clots, or, as recently with LaMarcus Aldridge with the heart issue. But fortunately, LaMarcus Aldridge has been able to return, but we all know that Chris Bosh just kept getting issues and eventually had to retire. Mm-hmm. For the rest of the team, I feel like they don't show up for Dame. Like he goes up, he has these great games, he has these high scoring games, he has these scenarios that we see where every time they need a shot to keep them in the game, he makes it, gets them into overtime, and maybe even secures the win. So he plays at a phenomenal level. He's starting to get some wear and tear on him, but he still plays at a high level. It makes me think that as a core, those two, it never seems that it could click. Like, they've been trying for quite some time with CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard. It just makes me think it's time to, I think, find Dame a new home. Could let CJ, carry the team while y'all rebuild a little bit. It's obviously not somebody I think you should build around, but I think he can get you a few games while, you're just struggling to rebuild. That's how I think they should do it. But that's how I see that team right now, to be honest.
Okay, dudes, man, you got something different?
Listen, man, Dame and McCollum have accomplished a lot together, right? But also, the Fast and the Furious movies have accomplished a lot together. They made money. Doesn't mean that they're good, man. So Dame and McCollum are like the Fast and the Furious movie franchise of the NBA, man. It's time to break it up. The world doesn't want the Fast and Furious 10, 11, 12. Dame and McCollum is done. It's been the same issues, man. They can score on anybody. But it goes in return. Anybody can score on them. Defense has always been their issue. And individually, we know Dame is the ish. McCollum's a good player. It's just hard to win when you have a small backcourt like that. They got to break this up, man. The last time the Trailblazers won a Western Conference game, a Western Conference championship game, was in 2000, man. That's when Cash Money went out. They ain't take over for the 99 and the 00, you know? It's break it up, man. And the writing's on the wall. They lost their big champion. We hate that Mr. Allen passed away. The GM's out. They got the report on him. Like he's, I guess, been a trash person all this time, allegedly. All those reports are coming out. McCollum, we hope he comes back fast from a punctured lung, but I don't think I've ever seen this in the NBA. So that's going to take some time. He needs to take his health first. So can you even use him as a trade asset is a question. That's tough. And then Lillard's dealing with the abdominal strain. He says he's had this for a little while now. It's going to break it up. You got to, because what are you going to do? You come back next year, trade a few pieces, and try to run it back again? We've seen this movie, man. We've seen it. It doesn't work. They got to just blow up the whole thing. I think wait to the offseason, because doing it now doesn't make sense. Let it play out. Wait to the offseason, see what Chauncey gives you as a coach, and see what you get on the open market for, at least for Dame. I don't know what the interest would be in McCollum until he gets healthy, but at least for Dame. I think he deserves that. He deserves to go to a contender.
Well, I mean, that's all good points. I mean, I can't really argue against Dame being set free and making a better legacy for himself, because, you know, he is a top 75 player. He is better in a lot of cases than some of the top point guards in the league right now. And, you know, again, it makes sense. It's a very valid argument considering the results. This is what I would say. I would say hold off. And the reason I say hold off is because what you say? You said they lost their GM, right? Because he was out here doing
the GM. You had the report. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. You know. He's confirmed fired. I can tell you that much. So you know what? Rebuilding starts from the office down. They finally got rid of Terry Stotts. They got Chauncey Billups. He's bought in to instill some culture into the team, into the organization. That's going to take some time. You know, maybe, hopefully they get a new GM who knows how to, you know, will and deal. Get, you know, maybe Daryl Morey or someone like that, and they can probably pull off some good offseason trades. They're probably not going to make the playoffs this year. Be the first time in Dame's career that he hasn't made it, and I mean, that's at least gives you an opportunity to have a high lottery pick without having to part ways with any of your assets. So I say keep it together, see how this offseason works. Now, if the offseason is really bad and you don't really bring anyone in, then yeah, I think the bells will ring louder saying, hey man, it's time for Dame to go, because we couldn't even surround him with the proper utilities or assets or team members. So I say hold off on him for a little bit, and we'll see, because at the end of the day, that's the first thing. The second thing is that Dame is probably the most popular Portland Trailblazer in all of Portland Trailblazing history. I don't know anyone who's been more impactful for that long of a tenure in Portland.
Recent history or all time?
I want to say all time, because
yeah,
you know, a lot of the players they end up leaving. Who you want? Walton? Bill Walton? Wasn't Drexler there or something? Yeah. So I would think Drexler didn't take his team to the NBA playoffs every year. I mean, I took
him to the championship though.
Yeah, he did one time. And then what happened?
Yeah. And then Scotty's always gonna be remembered as a bull.
Exactly, Scotty, Zabonis, Bonzi Wells.
And also Portland, I would rock a Wallace jersey, Rasheed, just because he was a badass. But no, you're right. Like, Dame's shadow was immense, man. I got a question for you guys. So, Dame's not a messy dude. I totally respect how the way he carries himself. The GM's out, and now sources say the Portland front office is stressing over the new contract for Dame, right? This is all of a sudden leaked by an anonymous source. We know it was that GM. We know trashy dude, man, acting like a little high schooler. But the details from that report, right? It's $107 million for 2 years, right? In that deal, actually, it's a 2-year extension. $107 million, right? The contract will carry him through the year 26-27, with a 36-year-old Dame earning $55.3 million. That would be the highest single season salary in NBA if it happened today at 36. If you were the new GM coming into Portland, is that something that you would sign off on?
Yeah.
If you opted not to blow it up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not blowing it, obviously you need that. I would just have to disagree with Chris's stance on it. Like, I think that kind of style or that pathway makes sense for the Trailblazers, but like we said, he's 36, and we all about Dame time, and I don't think he's trying to stick around for a rebuild, to be honest. Like, if the GM has a history of trashness and y'all just not doing, and he's been expressing frustration with, what y'all been doing with off seasons and coaches and decisions on and off the court, and y'all just now like, oh my God, at the end of the contract trying to get it together, time to go. It's been time to go. Like, what are we giving him more time for? From Dame's perspective, I think he's better off going to a contender now than waiting to see what this franchise, which has a history of bad decision making, is gonna do. Like, that, in my opinion.
Yeah, free that man. The same. Yeah. We need the same energy people have when they're talking about free Weezy from Birdman, free Dame from Portland, man. Bring that same energy back, man. Same energy.
I don't know about that. I'm just a radio guy.
But we'll leave it right there, man. We got 2 against 1, 2 trying to tell these folks to get rid of Dame and find greener pastures. So let's move on to the East Coast. We got the Celtics. They're currently 13-14. Jaylen Brown, I ain't seen the dude since Halloween, and Jason Tatum has been carrying the load the whole time. But they've been back and forth, up and down, and currently they're on a 3-game losing streak. What's going on, dudes, for the Celtics, man? Should we blow this team up, man? We got the Jaylen Brown Tatum dynamic. Has it hit its ceiling?
It's funny you say you ain't seen him since Halloween, man. You ain't know what he dressed up as? He's the Invisible Man.
Oh, I was gonna say Tatum.
He dressed up as Tatum.
It just came to mind when you said that. All right, so is it time? No. If we gave Dane and McCollum 30 freaking years to see what's going to happen with them, man, you got to give Tatum and Brown time, right? Tatum's 23. I think Brown should be 24. Both of those wings are good. We can agree that they are good players, right? They're not bums.
Mm-hmm.
You build around them. You still got them under contract. Since they came into the prominence when Tatum went toe to toe with Bron. I think was it his last year in Cleveland. I think they went to Game 7.
Yep.
That's when they started rising, right? And then Brown totally revamped his game. Each subsequent year, this is after Danny Ainge came in. People were like having parades for this man. Oh my goodness, he has all the drafts in the NBA. The NBA draft would just be Danny Ainge on TV for 4 hours picking, right? Mm-hmm. And every year after that, the team got weaker. It just the assets didn't align. Like the players he got didn't play well together, right? Mm-hmm. And now you're bringing in a new coach. Brad Stevens is now the new Danny Ainge. And hopefully during this offseason, they can get aggressive and bring in the right people. I think what Boston needs is a point guard that can distribute, right? Schroeder's good. Schroeder he's looking for his shot. They need somebody to distribute because you got 2 gunners on your court already, right? And they need an offense that can pass the ball because we got that from the inside source. Marcus Smart. It's like, bro, pass the ball. That's all he said, man. He said it in a Marcus Smart way, but I think that's what they need. So my answer is no. You can't don't blow up the Celtics yet. because I don't trust them to do the right thing. Gordon Hayward, they should have hung on to him because he's a facilitator. Even though he's off injured, bringing him off the bench was a good role for him. Don't blow it up. See if you can get some pieces in there and still an offense that passes the ball every once in a while, you know?
Gotcha. Okay, Reg, you think anything differently? Because I hope you do.
I think, you said they gave the Trailblazers a ton of time, and we saw how that experiment worked. So, let's not repeat the same thing. That's how I see it. I feel like, Tatum been phenomenal. Like you said, you pointed out that season when they went toe-to-toe with LeBron and almost came off with the W. I feel like that was the peak, but they kept building on that a little bit. You saw Jalen start to start exerting himself and coming into his own game. And they got a little bit better in terms of the duo, but I feel like you said, between struggles of finding the right point guard fit, issues with Kyrie, letting go of Gordon Hayward, they've been having, trying to figure things out, and now they're starting to also deal with injuries. I just don't see it in the future for this core. One of them got to go, either Jason or Jalen.
What type of who would you trade him for? Don't even think about money. Just what player would fit good with either or?
I mean, if I was the Celtics, I'm not letting go of Jason because I just feel like he's a franchise player. Both of them have the ability to be franchise player, but Jason to me has shown himself between all those 50-point games and just asserting himself, has shown him to be that guy. I would just trade Jalen and just try and find somebody who's a better fit then. Whether that's somebody who's going to give you more defense, whether somebody's going to distribute the ball better, I don't know what that is, but I feel like one of them got to go. That's how I see it.
Yeah, man. Let me make this tiebreaker very simple, man. Blow it up. I remember seeing Mike Conley and Kyle Lowry both be on the same team. They'd be on the court at the same time. And they just never really got off, and no one really talked about them. And there was a reason that they never talked about each other, is because they just didn't have the ceiling to mature and flourish. It wasn't until Kyle Lowry got shipped off to Toronto where things just started to click for both of them. Now both of them have been all-stars. One of them is a champion. No one looks at Kyle Lowry like the laughingstock anymore. Mike Conley is respected as one of the more premier, mature, kind of like distributing guard, just kind of like the game managing guard. So, at the end of the day, I understand that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are all-stars, budding superstars, definitely franchise players. But at the end of the day, sometimes you need to just have that space to mature and grow. We saw the same thing with Jerry Stackhouse and Allen Iverson. It wasn't going to be enough space for both of them to operate successfully. So you shipped out Jerry Stackhouse, you sent him to Detroit, and then you kept Allen Iverson, and both of them flourished to some degree. And there's nothing wrong with that. I understand the whole giving them some time and all that, but let's be clear, I would say it like this. I don't see that chemistry working with two wing defenders because they both kind of play the same kind of style of basketball, and you may need different styles to complement each other. And what you're looking for, maybe a ball distributor, or maybe if you could, to answer your question, Deuce, if they were able to get, I know they can't do it, if they were able to get Chris Paul and trade for either Jaylen Brown or just Tatum, take it.
Oh man, yeah, that would be
good. That would be good.
But here's my thing. I hear your point about breaking it up and whatnot, but I think this is the same narrative they have for the Bucks, right? Giannis and Middleton. Everybody was really questioning Middleton, right? The same way people keep Tatum, get rid of Brown. I feel like Brown is in that Middleton role right now. And everybody's like, yo, it's not gonna work out. To this or that, it's a bad marriage. They came in with a new coach, got a new system installed, and they finally got a point guard that can move the ball around, right? And next thing you know, they get the chip. I would say I would be in y'all's shoes and from y'all viewpoint, maybe 2 years from now. I don't know the contract on Brown and Tatum, but they're still young. They're too young to cut them loose just yet. 2 years, get a new system in, and find that point guard or whoever, a facilitator, that can distribute the ball, man.
Okay.
I think you bring up a really good point. I think the difference maker being Bledsoe there, like you were saying, with the point guard coming in who could distribute and make plays otherwise.
You mean Holiday?
I think
Holiday.
I don't know why I said Bledsoe. Drew Holiday, my bad. I think the other thing there though is in that dynamic. I think what was missing besides having that third playmaker who could distribute was Chris Middleton had to be more aggressive.
Thank you.
I think that's not the issue on this team.
Yep. All right.
That's just to keep it short and sweet. I think that's the difference there.
Yeah. And
What? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and just one more thing, we all know what the pecking order is for the Bucks. We still don't know for Boston Celtics. Is it Jalen's team? Is it Tatum's team? Who's taking up the lead and who's gonna be the supporting cast? We don't know yet.
I just want to put an asterisk right here because I made a point about basketball teams having a hierarchy episodes ago. And y'all, I think it was Kev that was so against it. But it's easy. Kev,
maybe it was Kev, but I would say I think it's team dependent. I don't think every team needs that. Because I think I was also on that side when it came to the Brooklyn Nets. I didn't think that you necessarily. I think it's starting to show that it's Kevin Durant's team. In my opinion, that's just what time has showed us. But during that season before, and they had trials and tribulations the whole season, but it literally could be anybody.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what made that team so dangerous.
Yeah, that's true.
Every team has when you know your role, it just makes things operation so easier. But going back to your point, Middleton did have to become more aggressive. So I found this stat on Tatum. People been saying Tatum, Kobe Bryant was like Tatum's, that's his idol, right? So he wants to play like Kobe. He's not good at being Kobe, right? So looking at these stats, I think a couple episodes ago I talked about a stat where he's taking shots farther away from the goal, but they're not threes. He's taking deeper twos. But then looking at this, in 2020, his scoring efficiency was 41.5%. This season thus far, it's 30.5. He has similar stats like that where his efficiency rating is just going down, right? And his ISOs are up, right? So the ball gets to him, boom, you hit the pause button, right? So Middleton had to be more aggressive. I think Jason needs to develop his playmaking skills and look for Brown, and he know how to play off each other. That's a skill that both of them cats can learn. They're too talented not to.
I can see that, but like Marcus Smart said, they're not really passing. Like the beauty of when we seen Jason Tatum get these 50-point games is he gets the ball and makes a play. Whether it's a deep 3-pointer, whatever it is, he's making these tough shots. And another point for me to be like, I think it's time to blow it up now is like you said, I feel like their efficiency's just been getting worse and worse over the years.
Yeah.
Not improving, just getting worse.
Yeah.
They're getting less deep into the playoffs for whatever reason. Could be injuries, could be COVID, could be all this other stuff going on. But they almost got there with LeBron, Game 7, like Chris said, and we getting further and further away from deep playoff success.
Yeah. So okay, man, let's leave it there, man. We got 2 blow-ups and Deuces on the outside looking in, talking about keeping them together, keep the band together. So he's over 2. Let's move on to the Knicks, man. Look, they started off strong. It was looking good for the Knicks, and now it looks like a cold winter. Boy. It was all good just a week ago. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. They're currently sitting at 12-15. Evan Fournier, who was a big free agent signing, he's been hot and cold, just like this record right now. What's up with the Knicks, man? Is this time to go ahead and dismantle the Knicks and move on, or just save Thibodeau and Rose and all of Thibodeau's old buddies, Taj Gibson and all of them? Reg, what you got?
I think that's a difficult one. I don't feel like they have worse players than they had last season. I don't feel like they're in a worse position than they were in last season. So I really don't get it. I watched some of the games, and they're not a bad team. They actually, some of the games, I know you said they got beat up today, but the game against the Raptors, it kind of came down to the wire, and it was a really good look from Randle. They're making the right plays. they were actually, I think they were down a lot in that game, and they made like a big stretch towards the end. They have the talent. They got what it takes. They got deep. I don't know if it's because it was a surprise that they got deeper into the play, more success last year. I don't know if it's ready to call it quits. I think you have something there to work with, but they just got to get the kinks out. That's how I see it.
Gotcha. Deuce, what you got?
Man, see, I don't know how you guys are always opposite of me, man. Blow that thing up, man. Blow it up.
It just got together.
I would say they just formed.
There's nothing there to hang my jacket on, man. Nothing there to hang my jacket on.
So
Ain't
you
no
just
coat
said-
hanger, no hook. Nothing. Flat wall.
So last season was just a fluke, and just leave it as such, and let's move on. Is what you said.
They got exposed in the playoffs, homie. They got exposed. Yeah, it was a fluke. Celtics broke right for them, man. Listen, you know what another fluke was? When Portland met Golden State during the dynasty era in the Western the championships here. Yeah, they were not supposed to be there. So the same thing with the Knicks, man. Randle, he puts in the work, does what he has to do, but is Randle a franchise player? At this stage, not yet. No, he's not. And the Knicks are operating as though he is their franchise player, man. They brought in Kemba. They brought in Fournier. Kemba's not even in the rotation anymore, right? Not even in the rotation. Fournier is averaging 13. Bruh, this dude is...
Wait, is he... I thought he was just injured. They're just not playing him?
He's healthy.
Yikes.
He's healthy. Thibodeau was like... You know how he talks, man, and that means he's out. He's doing the John Wall right now, right? They're saving him for trading or whatever. Fournier is averaging the least amount of points since 2014 season. So they brought these cats in to be offensive weapons because last season the defense hung their hat. The team hung their hat on defense. That's Thibodeau's calling card, man. So why do you bring in a defensive-minded coach, a mastermind, and then you give them players that can't play to his philosophy? Now, granted, Tibbs should change, but when you hire Tibbs, you know what you're getting. Bruh, this is a remote. This remote is not going to change to a screwdriver. It's not going to change to a set of keys. It is what it is. That's Thibodeau. He's not flexible like that. You brought him in, you know what you're getting. So the front office should have acted accordingly and brought in players that could fit that system, man. But yeah, the starting lineup is getting like destroyed. The bench has to save the team all the time. Blow it up.
I do like some of the young players that are coming in to like top in and whatnot. I have to agree that Evan Fournier has been extremely disappointing to me. From what I've seen him play on the Knicks. I know you said hot and cold. I didn't see the hot. I've only been seeing the cold.
Yeah, I didn't see. I missed the hot too, man. It must have been lukewarm.
I don't know what it is about him. He's been on the Celtics. He was on the Magic as well.
He was a killer on the Magic.
Supposed to be a 3-point specialist and all that. No, he was in France during the Team USA. I don't see it.
Man.
I don't see it.
Man.
With the last thing I'll say is with Julius Randle, it's tough because he's taking all the same kind of shots. Sometimes they just don't fall.
A lot of times they're not falling. That's the problem. He's taking these difficult shots, but he doesn't have to. Not all the time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like that blowout season they had, he was taking those same shots. He was playing that same way.
And that was a career year for him. It had never happened before in his career.
You said career year.
Yeah. So you just saying the averages, so he just had one good season. I hear you. I still don't think they should blow it up, but yeah.
So
I like Cusco though.
No, I ain't got much to say, man. I'm gonna just say this. While you do have a point, Julius Randle is not a franchise player. I also echo Reg's sentiments in saying that, like, hey man, it's year one, it's year two. It's really year one of us really like paying attention. The last year we didn't expect them to be as what they were. It happened. It was a flash in the bottle. Let's see if they can recreate it. We just had the same argument about give Tatum and Jaylen Brown some time, and it's
who are the Tatum and Browns on the Knicks? Who's a Tatum and who's a Brown? Don't tell me Julius. Julius is a good player, but he's not Tatum. He's not Brown.
Man,
He's not Dame.
Good point.
Hold on.
And also to echo what you were saying about give them like this is only year 1 or year 2. This like what the success they had captured last season really happened a lot of the stuff happened mid-season between Derrick Rose coming in and them figuring something out and stringing it together. And this all happened like mid-season, so it is kind of just like year 1. So to be like blow it up already, it's a little premature. I hear your negative points, I hear your cons, but it's just a little early to blow it up, in my opinion.
Dude, let them hit the teenage years before they throw out the baby water, like the baby with the water, like golly.
This man back in the Spartan days, he see a deformity and that baby getting tossed. Like, yo,
that baby got one nipple, throw him off. Like, yo, so give him some time, dude. Look, I understand. Julius Randle is still maturing. He's starting to flourish. Let's see how he handles. Like, give him an opportunity to bounce back. You know what I mean? So, RJ Barrett is only his second season. Give him a chance to figure out his role. He's trying to figure it out, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's only his second year. You know what I'm saying? Sophomore slump. Derrick Rose, he's there. He's kind of the steadying force. Taj Gibson is going to give you some veteran leadership and stuff as well. Everyone else is just everyone except for Kemba Walker. I agree. Kemba Walker needs to go. But besides him, everyone else, like, give them a fair shot, man. Like, no one has really let you down. If anything, they've only done better than the previous year. Like, give them some time. So look, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know why you got this New York Knick hating your heart. But
dude, it's the Dolan.
They're not giving Thibodeau.
What's up with Kemba though? Like, I feel like he's just plummeting. Like, that so quick.
Man. That knee.
I think a lot of his injury. He just cannot be healthy long enough to be productive, which is crazy for a 5'11" guard. Like, usually you see them in big men. Lower extremity.
Yeah, for that knee. But because without that first step, man, I think Kemba will be awesome coming off the bench. I think there's a role for him in the NBA. Like, he's not hot trash. You know what I'm saying? He's Kemba Walker.
Yeah,
he's gonna have moments. I think coming off a bench, but he had to take a pay cut to join the Knicks. For the right contract, coming off a bench for a contender, for sure.
I mean, if he doesn't do that, I don't see him having a future in the NBA, because it's just like that transition from the Hornets to the Celtics to this. It's just like
it was bad. It was bad.
It's so quick.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Shout out to Kemba. Hopefully he figures it out, man. Shout out to New York, man. At least the Knicks, the original New York team. I don't know why Deuce is out to get you guys, but apparently y'all made him mad.
Yeah, I want them to have something better, man. All I'm saying is, I look at what's going on here. I'm looking at this. No, man.
Give him some time. You only have one season.
I know this is for our next segment, but I think I know why he don't like the Knicks. It's a potential target for one of our future segments. But let's go on. Let's get that might be why that Knicks hate is coming out. But let's go to these.
It may be. Last thing, man, the Lakers, man, they're 14-13. Been a mixed bag this season. You've seen them have some horrible losses. See OKC Thunder, and you've seen them have some respectable wins. See OKC Thunder. LeBron, he's starting to show his age, with his injuries and, all of this, just kind of like being out, not being available, not being, 100% as far as like being all in, running full force, just committing the whole game, taking plays off, things like that. We also seen AD also showing up by being absent, and he's definitely fallen off as being a premier center, let alone top, something player. A top 5 player in the NBA. Like, he's really showing his weaknesses now that people are keyed in on him. So the Lakers, man, they're struggling. Russell Westbrook, he's the king of turnovers. Man, Reg. No, we go with Deuce, man. Deuce, man, should they blow it up?
The thing is, they can't, man. They're stuck with what they got. They have some major contracts on that team. I think like most of the paychecks going to Bron, Westbrook, and AD. And at this point, I think Westbrook's trade value is the lowest it's been in his career, probably. Who are you going to trade him for? the Lakers are tough, man. If you talk about blowing it up, who's the trade asset? Who?
Everyone but LeBron.
AD, you gotta keep AD. AD's the bridge.
That's how they started. Right? He got to the Lakers team. Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. It's just like, who's on the trade block? Everybody but LeBron.
Hey.
My thing is, you can't blow up the Lakers because LeBron. We don't have too many more years of LeBron being at least a dominant force. Because I still think LeBron in the playoffs is going to be one of the best players on the court. 7-game series, I would still not bet against a healthy LeBron, right? They managed to work this thing out. I would say blow it up, but they can't. There's not a move I can see that they can make. That's the thing. So they got to figure out how to use the pieces they have to make it work. And I kind of hate people saying it's Vogel's fault. They gave the dude a bunch of lemons. No, they gave him a bunch of bricks to say, yo, make lemonade. But you can't make lemonade out of bricks, man.
You got LeBron James, AD, Russell Westbrook. He got lemons? Come on, man.
They're not lemons, but they don't fit together, man. They don't. We know the recipe. LeBron James teams is LeBron James shooters. LeBron shooters. Same thing I said before the season started. We got into it about that. There are no shooters on this team. Nobody else strikes it to make defenses scared. And that's what you need for LeBron James' team, man. Shooters.
Okay.
You did say
it's
that?
an ill fit.
Yeah, you said that you're still wrong, but let's move on. Rez, man, what you think?
I feel like I said this before when we was even doing the planning for this. I don't see how we could even put this team on the blow up list. Like, the core to me is LeBron James and AD. Unless you're talking about removing one of the two, which I don't think we are, we're not talking about doing a blow up. That's how I see it. It is not time to blow up this team. You do not blow up this team. I think this core is fine in those two. And like we said, everybody else is, pieces that we're trying to figure out. This year, because of last season and, there was some things out of their control. There was injury, COVID protocols, a slump towards the end of the season, injuries right before the playoffs that they couldn't quite come back and gel together to dig out. They were able to dig themselves out of the play-ins and got knocked out in the first round. They were like, hey, why don't we try these new pieces? They were going to give the bag to Schroeder, who I thought did really well at the end of the season when AD and LeBron was out holding the helm. But he was like, I'm going to chase the bag, which you should do. He bet on himself. I'm not going to clown him for that. But, they went and got what they thought would be a big move to shake it up. And Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double. We know that he doesn't get deep in the playoffs, so that's a telltale sign. But I see why they thought that might work. Like, I don't.
Why? Please, because I don't see it. I never saw it. So why did they think it was going to work?
A third person who can create their own shots, who can be aggressive, who can bring some, veteran experience, who could put a fire into their team. These are all things that he's done. Like,
Schroeder wasn't aggressive, can get the hole in the score. We just said that.
He could do it, but they offered Schroeder first.
He turned it down. You're right.
Right?
You're right.
So now you look at the play field, and they rumored about several things. Westbrook never had a situation like this. He did have, outside of his years with OKC, when they could have did it with James Harden and Kevin Durant, but he hasn't had a situation like that since. He's been in situations where they could have been contenders. You had the Rockets. What other team was he on? Where they possibly could have been contenders.
That was it.
The Wizards. He just got from the Wizards. They went to the playoffs. What you mean?
Yeah. So that's it. They're contenders now, and not much has changed, right? So a lot has changed. But, I mean, in terms of Bradley Beal, like
the main guy, the franchise
ticket, the franchise is still there. The main ticket is still there. So I thought that from their perspective, it was like, let's put them with superstars, because that team with James Harden and Kevin Durant was a successful team. They just had to go up against, so they lost to the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
With LeBron James. People lose to LeBron James. And Dwayne Wade, like the Miami Heat team, like when it goes down, and people are gonna be like, oh, you remember the big three. So, like, is it so crazy? I don't think so. Obviously, it's not working out. Let's see if they figure it out this season. If not, yeah, I think you're kind of stuck with Russ, like you said, because if it doesn't work this season, now it's like, oh, you can't even make it work with LeBron. His trade value is going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now,
All that triple double stuff is good. Unless you got to give him to a small market team who just needs something, his trade value is going to be down, gone.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, Reg. I'm gonna keep it real simple. Leave it alone. They're old. They're going to figure it out. They're gonna hit their mid-season stride. Things gonna gel. Then barring injury, they'll be fine. If they keep having these little nagging on and off injuries, Rondo's out, LeBron's out, Russ is out, AD's out. Like if they keep doing that. Then,
that's what ended up last year.
Yeah, then they're not gonna make it anywhere. But if they're all healthy and they play long enough, like again, the same thing I said with Brooklyn Nets, you gotta play together long enough to gel and get that chemistry. If you play long enough to get that chemistry, you're gonna hit your stride in like February, March. Nothing.
And an addendum to something that I didn't even think about. I'm gonna add on. We're putting a lot on Russ, which like criticism is due. You get the big paycheck, you're the big name, you were the hype. But their early season struggles, they're doing okay now. But remember, a lot of their role players that were playing way above their contract are gone.
Yep.
Caruso's gone. What's his name? Caldwell Pope is gone. Like, that's gonna change everything. So we should have expected early season struggles with that glue of role players gone. That wasn't necessarily their core. Obviously, it's not the big stars. But that was some solid role playing, and they're not there right now.
Yeah.
Blow up the front office, man. Bring back Magic. Bring back Magic. We want Magic.
They got the championship after they got rid of him. I agree with you, but
they were this Magic's chip.
They had defense, man. They had
it's the Mark Jackson effect. Like we all know that was Mark Jackson's team, but that's what happened.
But you see the results, man. Like DeAndre Jordan, man, he had a wonderful career with the Clippers.
Yeah.
That's it. Why you?
I don't know what people be seeing. Like, the Brooklyn Nets, and then they thought he would be a good idea on the Lakers. I don't know.
The players like him, man. Malik Monk, he's coming back from injury, so reserve any commentary on him, man. And like you said, Trevor was injured, but he's older, man.
Old, yeah.
I mean, Trevor or Green, like Danny Green. Which one would you rather have?
Danny Green is nice, man. He's always been consistent. Y'all just got mad. You got mad at him at that one shot in that one finals, that one tie in the bubble, and you just never let it go, man. Gotta let it go.
People got mad at Clinton for that one shot at that one time in the Oval Office, man.
Wow.
One time to mess up the whole thing.
He set the tone off in his next segment, I guess. But, to your point with Trevor Ariza, he was supposed to be that guy that gives you some defense and stretches the floor. It was supposed to give you some solid shooting because throughout his career, he was known as
3AD guy.
Yeah.
Caldwell Pope did that too. That's what I'm saying. The front office messed it up for them, man. But they got what they got.
Why didn't they pick up Caldwell Pope? No money, or he wanted to go test the market?
It was all for Westbrook. They
traded him for Westbrook.
Everybody in Washington.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think Pope was good. I don't know when his contract would have been up. I feel like they wouldn't have been able to keep him anyway, because he'd been playing above his contract for a while.
If you could pay Westbrook, you could keep everybody from the old team.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So we got two keep the band together, and one more deuces on the outside taking these L's with Florida and up.
No. I said you have to. You can't. There's not a move they can make.
Oh, okay.
They can't.
It was a begrudge. He was a begrudging keep the team together. Like you ain't had no option but to keep the team together.
Okay. So you saying they married, no prenup? So
the fans, show y'all appreciating the Deuce because he giving y'all content tonight. He just on the other side of every issue.
Man, I mean that's good, man. That's why we have you here, because you don't be talking that much. So that's cool, man. Let's go ahead, man. We can just end it right there. I know some folks gotta get up and do their push-ups in the morning. So we'll start off, man, with the sign-offs, man. Reg, what you got?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out, rocking with us. I know we've been on for a couple weeks, but we back, and I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Like, follow, subscribe, all that.
Cool. All right, Deuce, man, what you got? You got a factoid? If not, I got one. I'm ready.
I'm curious to see what you have, man. What you got?
No, I'm usually if you don't.
Same time. I don't know y'all. Same time.
Nah. Chris coming for me like Nicole Nichols, man. I feel like Maria Taylor right now. Wow.
That was his thing, man. Now you trying to one up him, Chris. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What you got? No, hey, what you got?
No, man, go for it. This is your segment.
You said no. You ready?
This is your segment.
He usually closes out with the factoid, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm confused.
He usually goes. I usually let him go before I sign off. So that's why I was like, man, go ahead. Why you changing? Why you changing?
I'm not. When you said, "Oh, if you don't have one, I got a fact." I was like, "Oh, you trying to take my spot?"
No, so, I'm not.
So are we all gonna have factoids now? What's going on?
I mean,
that's what I'm talking about. Chris tried to come for me, man.
I'm not, man. I just go for it, man. I go for it. I want you to own your spot, own your block, own your little corner of the street.
All right, go ahead.
Because we were talking about football before, right? During the pre-pod, man. Talking about the teams. Do you guys know when the first ever live televised football game was?
I was not alive. I don't know.
Yeah, none of us were alive.
It had to be after the TV was created.
Maybe not.
So smart, man. All right, so it was October 1946 was the first ever live televised football game.
After the World War?
Yep. Hey, your country needed something to argue about.
Wow. Well, I had a factoid for you. I'm sure you appreciate this. I'm sure there's some cross correlation with the other team, the Alabama Tigers. Every time Clemson Tigers win a road game against a top 25 ranked team, they add a tombstone in front of the indoor football practice facility. It's kind of a graveyard.
Really?
So I'm sure there's plenty of Alabama tombstones in there, but
there's not.
Just want to let you know, man. Just want to let you know, man. That was a good. I like that factoid. I like yours too.
There's not a lot of Alabama tombstones in there.
Have you been?
Listen, all I know is Clemson lost damn near the whole coaching staff, man. So I don't know what they're gonna do this season coming up.
Hey, man, but the tombstones will never die. Was that the end of your sign off? I just kind of wanted to throw in there.
Oh, that's all I got, man. That's all the education I'm dropping today.
Okay, cool. All right, man. This is Chris, the trainer here. Thank you guys for joining. Shout out to Mac Bo, aka Zebo, aka Zach Randolph. He got his jersey retired in the FedEx Forum, aka the Grindhouse. The founding father, the forefather of the grit and grind era, him and Tony Allen. So Tony Allen's gonna have his one day, but shout out to Zach Randolph and the Memphis Grizzlies, who knocked off the Houston Rockets that night. So yeah, man, we just here, keep pushing until we get Ja Morant back. We're gonna keep retiring jerseys, and yeah, man. That's all I want to say. Thanks for everyone rocking with us. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit the 5 stars on the Apple Podcast, all that fun stuff, man. However you do to show your love and support, man, do that, please. We appreciate it. And until the next time, we're here every Tuesday. So until next Tuesday, man, we'll see y'all on the flip side. So until then, guys, deuces.
Deuces.
Holla.